Robbie Coates. And for an inaugural episode, I have no idea where to begin. There's so much going on. So much going on in a single news cycle, I never imagined it was possible. It's Thursday, June 4th already, 2020. And my friends and the internet in general began calling me crazy about my position on coronavirus back in February. So here we are, June 4th, and it seems as though I was anything but crazy, and the world is, in fact, much crazier than anyone ever realized. We have got... What happened to coronavirus, ladies and gentlemen? Where did it go? We have riots in the streets over who? What's his name? Frank Lloyd? No. Derek Lloyd. What's his name? Is that Lloyd with one L or two? And now you expect me to believe that the entire country, thousands and thousands of... Where's everyone my age out there protesting? How come it's all these young, dumb, stupid, goddamn, dumb, stupid, young, stupid, goddamn, dumb little kids? Why is it the ones with the mush for brains? You don't see anyone, I'm 35 years old, ladies and gentlemen. It still might be young to a lot of you, but it's certainly an old geriatric type. To the ones that are out there protesting, the ones whose brains aren't even fully developed yet. Did you know, ladies and gentlemen, kids, boys and girls, did you know that your brain doesn't even finish growing until you're about 25 years old? You aren't even who you're going to be, okay, until you're about 25. Happens a little sooner with women than it does with boys, but, it takes about that long. So here we are, world being run by undeveloped, the country. The country is basically been taken over by a population of entirely undeveloped brains. So how are these undeveloped brains coordinating? How are they, how many days has this been going on? 9 days, 10 days? My God, people. How many businesses are being looted? Where they all have these signs. Okay, now this is not the first time that a police officer has been caught on film in the age of information and cell phone cameras, the age of iPhones. It's not the first time that one of these guys has been caught on camera murdering someone. It's not the first time that one of these guys has been caught on camera murdering a black man. Okay? I seem to recall a police officer shooting a black man in the back, like he was literally just strolling away from him. It happened in a park or something. It was on the other side of a chain link fence from the person recording the video. And the cop pulls his firearm and he puts, 4 or 5 right in the dude's back. And he is a good 30, 35 feet away from him at that point, walking, not running, strolling. And the cop nonchalantly, it was clearly out of malice, but raises his pistol, aims, pulls the trigger, drops the guy, and then walks over and he gets on the ground, puts his knee in his back, and then cuffs him. The guy he just shot, the guy he just murdered was all caught on camera. Now, do you people even remember that? Do you even remember? It might be coming back to you because it was pretty graphic. It was pretty horrific. Okay? How come the country didn't burn after that, ladies and gentlemen? This is just a handful of years ago. This might have been before Trump. It might have been after Trump, but it was just a handful of years ago. Okay? Why didn't the country burn? Where were all these young dumb kids with their signs organized every fucking night, all over the United States of America, and during coronavirus, no less? When you are basically a Nazi if you want to go outside and live your life. Okay, and now all these preachy people, all these people who want to tell you how to run your life and tell you that you're a monster if you go outside. These are the same people, folks, same ones. They're out there doing this now. And decent Americans who need to make a living, who have families to care for, who have people are at home committing suicide. They have been since the beginning of this, and now since coronavirus, and now all this is going on. Coronavirus has disappeared. Folks, where the fuck is coronavirus? Where is it? How many days have these riots been going on now? Have you seen anyone social distancing? No. Rather than social distancing, people have literally been tearing each other to fucking pieces. They have been murdering one another, beating each other to death in the streets. Gangs of people, mobs of people surrounding prey, surrounding individuals, surrounding, like 20, 30 people, surrounding one person. And taking turns, beating them down, beating them to death. Video of this one guy just basically folded up. And then the dumb kids, the fucking goddamn dumb kids that you've given the reins of the country to, the reins of the free world to, folks. The reins of you hand over the reins of America, you hand over the free world. So you're giving it to. You're giving it to look. The only reason Greta Thunberg isn't out there doing all this rioting stuff is probably because she can't move around fast enough. Okay, she'd probably end up getting trampled. But you're giving it to her and her kind, the angry kids, the fucking angry kids. You want to know why they're angry? Because you've given their education over to people who don't like you. Basically, I mean that's that's a simple way to put it. But you look. Government, ladies and gentlemen, you let the government educate your children. You have hardly any hand of it. Generations go by, less and less. So, do you know what they're teaching these kids at a young age? They're teaching them to hate. All right, they're teaching them to hate, and they're teaching them to call it love, and they're teaching they're teaching them to identify people who actually are decent people as hateful people. It's what they do. It's part of the tactic. It's part of the propaganda machine. You accuse the other side of doing what you're doing as you're doing it. It's just pure distraction, and it's the power of the television, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone read 1984. Incidentally, if you haven't already, it's an old book. It's been around a little while, quite a bit longer than 1984. And it just so happens it's my, since I was a little kid, I don't know why, but it's probably my favorite novel. I don't really like novels too much. I'm more of a, tech manuals and bicycle assembly instructions kind of guy, things like that. I enjoy, when I was a kid, I enjoyed a good popular science magazine. But I never really read much fiction. But for some reason, I was always attracted to the dystopian future novels. There's just something very real about them, something very palpable, just right off the tip of the nose, so possible. It was like you were separated from that reality by just a thin veneer. It was right ahead of you, just out of your smelling range. So it's basically a playbook for what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to go off on too much of a tangent or go on to too much down whatever, Point is, it's a playbook. People talk about it all the time. They say Orwellian. It's Orwellian. And it's the same. It's ladies and gentlemen, they're calling the good guys Orwellian while they engage in Orwellian stuff. What a tongue twister. So you got to actually read Orwell to understand what Orwellian means. And then you understand that they are actually, they probably know what Orwell means. At least the ones on the top do. They're just on the other side. You read Orwell, you're on the good side. They'll be on the bad side. It's a playbook. It's a playbook, ladies and gentlemen. You're just dealing with loyal, good, sleepy, empty-headed, loyal National Party members. Okay? New World Order, Antifa, Marxism, fascism, socialism, communism. It's all the fucking same, ladies and gentlemen. It's all the antithesis of liberty and free market and free trade. It's no, you can't trade that for that, between you two. You have to be told, somebody's got to come in here and monitor this transaction. Okay, that's what government is, ladies and gentlemen. Crash course in government. Government in a nutshell, 101 with Robbie Coates. It's just infiltration and interference into your lives, at least contemporarily. There's so much to talk about on the program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just trying to lay out, just trying to do a little stream of consciousness here. I think this is the inaugural episode. So there's so much going on, folks. We need to talk about how government doesn't love you. Okay, that's what I really want to get into deeply here on the program sometime. Maybe during this episode, maybe not. Don't want to push it too long. Going to try and limit these to 20, 30 minutes, for the first few editions. Don't want to overwhelm anyone with too much raw information. But, folks, government cannot love you. All right, everyone looks to government for the answer these days. These snowflake, brainless, mindless, stupid, goddamn angry little kids. You little children. You children with your rocks. So, where are you guys getting all these beer bottles? Are you old enough to drink? Where do you get these from? Are you telling me that you must be breaking the law all the time? I mean, engaged in underage drinking. Look, ladies and gentlemen, this is who you've handed the country over to. Painting a picture for you, folks, right here, right now. Anyway, look, everyone's promising everything these days. Well, at least they were before coronavirus, and then coronavirus came around, and now, it's the end of the world. You're witnessing it. You're witnessing a battle being waged between good and evil. And it probably extends beyond 3 dimensions. There is, it seems that to me, it seems it's the only explanation that makes any reasonable sense, any reasonable, accessible sense, is that there's some ethereal element here somewhere. And we are witnessing a big moment in history, a big moment in time. And ultimately, what it amounts to here in our locus, on our locus, on this in this 3-dimensional place, what it amounts to is the end of the Democrat Party. Is what it amounts to. The end of liberalism, the end of the propaganda machine, the global propaganda machine. I believe, in the end, and very quickly, it won't. We'll see. I'm going to put my money on before 4th of July, but it won't take till Election Day, folks. We're Americans. We're not going to take this shit. We're too kind, and that's why we've taken it so long. Too kind. We can't believe that this would be happening in our own country. Don't you see how important it is to have a country now? Don't you see what a country is? Don't you see what they're trying to destroy systematically? Destroy. For so many years. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been asleep. Those of you who are sleeping, you know who you are. And if you don't, well, then that's you. You're asleep. You're still asleep. Wake up, please. Come on. Snap out of that coma. Snap out of that coma on WERV. It's the program. It's the WERV radio network. WERV, that's Inglewood, Robert Victor. Victor is a co-host, one of the original founding members of the WERV network. You'll hear him on probably later this episode. This is probably the beginning of some sort of simulcast episode. We're coming up on 15 minutes here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, why don't we do 15 minutes of Zoom, okay? Let's do 15 minutes of Zoom. Let's get the rest of the team on board. I'd like to introduce you to Victrix, Twigs, the Moose, and maybe even Mr. Anonymous out in West Hollywood, California. It's another world over there right now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so stand by. We're going to get these guys on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to part 2 of the program. We have our other hosts on the program. We have Mr. Victor Valaire, Derek Twigs.
Good to be here today.
That's a pretty cool, live in the Victrix studio back there. Twigs.
We're in the studio.
What's up,
we have multiple studios we're broadcasting from.
And we have Mr.
All
Anonymous.
Around the world.
I don't even know if he wants us using his first name out in West Hollywood, but he has some vital information for us from the front lines.
Thanks for having me program. I appreciate it.
So, how would you like to be identified, Mr. Anonymous? Is that how we're going to maintain this, or do you want to give out your first name, or do you want a pseudonym? Just Mr. Anonymous, because
Mr. Anonymous works. Mr. Anonymous works.
Very good.
Now that it's nearly illegal to do anything here in California, I don't need the communists raiding my door.
Better play it safe. You are privy to a lot of information out there that is going to be vital to this the program and how this progresses and everyone that we're able to reach. So that's probably a good idea. So, gentlemen, I know for the audience, all there's only 4 of us here, but there might be a 5th one occasionally. You guys have been.
That's the Moose. We should introduce Moose, Sam Baker, Maz Ray. He's here on the East Coast here in our Southern Division. So welcome, Moose. He's not on with us today, but he will be here for some pretty electric segments.
And he handles the technical side of things too. He's an integral part to the operation. So anyway, we all have a thread that we maintain between us, iChat on the iPhone, and it's basically like our own personal Facebook. Anyway, I've been backed up on that. What can you guys just fill me in on what has gone on today? Somebody start, because it's just crazy. Every single day I'm speechless. I thought that I would have some kind of monologue prepared, but there's just so much, where do I even start, guys? Can you just give me some direction here? Maybe we can establish just pull one out of a hat for me, please.
Twigs, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's the biggest news of the day? I mean, right now we're talking about George Floyd, right?
I heard he wasn't even dead. Somebody said that. That was one of the things.
Yeah, we got to be careful there. I don't know.
Well, see, I heard that video got taken down. I was all set to watch the video, and now it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the one that I watched didn't really have any evidence. Didn't have anything. So
okay, well, so that's
pure
fine.
Speculation. So I'm hesitant to jump on that boat.
Well, so am I.
Yet,
but it's just something that is floating around out there.
Yeah, but at this point,
some people are saying stuff.
Yeah, I mean, at this point though, it's like you can't. The unbelievable has already happened. So
that's true. That's true.
For me to put something in the completely impossible. Yeah, I can't put it as completely impossible, but I can't say that I'm an advocate for it or that I'm, But like I said, I mean,
I don't believe it right now.
Saying, exactly.
It's definitely strange if you watch it. The whole thing is strange.
Everything about this whole situation is bizarre. And even the response to it is even more bizarre. And
lack of response.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Oh, that. Yeah, of course. Well,
yeah.
You mean that other terrorist organization?
Well, they are now. They have
been classified as one too?
Officially.
Antifa has, yeah.
Antifa, yeah.
All right, listen. Have you guys seen the Black Lives? Have you seen what
they work hand in hand? Look. They're guilty by association. They work hand in hand. That's it. Case closed. They're both terrorist they're anti-white organizations. That's it.
Okay, so what about what they're doing in the past couple of days with having people kneel and cops kneeling and everything like that? Yes. And I saw I saw them. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I saw Black Lives Matter leading a group of what looked like mostly white girls in some kind of oath to swear to live a certain way or
well, his boss
advance the law
to do it.
What's that?
Not only that, Mr. Coates, we now have the National Guard kneeling for these people. Our own U.S. military is kneeling for these people.
The military, the National Guard. This is unreal.
The National Guard is kneeling.
So basically, okay, from my
I don't think you could find a Marine that would kneel.
I can't. Okay, yeah. Are there? That's what I'd like to know next. Are there any Marines that are kneeling? Probably not.
Not that I've seen yet, but I can report to you that
I think there's not going to be any of that.
Do you actually mean? Okay, now when you say the National Guard, how many are we talking?
I mean, at least 30. At least 30 in this video in Los Angeles, California, are bowing and kneeling for the riders of this movement, the hijacked movement.
And what are they supposing that is going to do for the hell that's been on? I mean, what are they going to do? How does that extinguish the flames?
It's not. It's not. I think Twigs can speak to this, but this has been a total hijacked anarchist movement, and there's big developments today.
Well, can we go through some of those developments? I'm a little behind. I'm about 24 hours behind. So What do we got new? I mean, the last I saw was people with Black Lives Matter leading looked like a choir of people into some kind of oath, some kind of new religion. They were talking about like some kind of new religion. What was it? I don't know what it was. Worshiping black people. That's what I got out of it. I mean, what is it?
Yes. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's all about control. I mean, Tucker Carlson had a segment last night. Like the first 15 minutes of his shows, I mean, his whole shows are usually on fire, but his opening monologues that I'm pretty sure he writes his own, they've just been so spot on. And he touched on this, and he showed a couple videos of people from Black Lives Matter asking, demanding, but not forcefully, for certain people, white people, to get on their knees out in the street. Hey, get on your knees and, denounce, apologize for slavery, apologize for racism and
white privilege.
Denounce your white privilege. Exactly.
Here's my Tucker face.
Yeah, the lost puppy dog.
The Tucker face.
There's my white privilege right there. I crawl around on concrete all day. 30 days a month. That's my privilege.
So we got people kneeling. That's what I saw, and that's what's the most fucking astonishing thing in the world.
That's a problem. That's a problem. It's a problem all around. I mean, and you can say that it represents solidarity all you want, but
it's evil.
There's different ways to acknowledge it. I mean, and again, Tucker said it the best. He says, this is quote, he says, why do we kneel? We kneel because we've lost. We kneel before
we've surrendered. Exactly.
Yeah, he says we kneel because
you're
we've
bending
lost.
the knee.
Yeah, what is
Has
kneeling?
Nobody watched Game of Thrones.
What is kneeling?
Yeah, that's
will
right.
You bend the knee? Twigs, will you bend the knee?
Nope.
Never.
No.
Never. Look what I just got. Look what I just got, gentlemen. Can you see this? Can you see this? Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. See that? All right. This is the most. Is this safe to do on the air on the first broadcast? Can you see what this is? I've been.
Yeah.
The auto background is kind of making it hard to see, but look at the anyway. So that's what I'll do instead of kneeling. This is called
I think it's just important for everybody, all these women, to know, because it's almost like that kid was starting to get pissed. He's like, Donald Duck. What do you think about Donald Duck? First off, he's unprofessional. The whole BLM organization's unprofessional. You're sending these hit squads out. And what's going on is these people are going to start getting shot. So he's saying his boss sent them out. Who's responsible for this kid if he gets injured? I know some of these people, you could get seriously hurt approaching people and telling them to kneel.
Yeah.
You step up to a Marine that fought, 8 tours somewhere, he's going to snap your head in half. I mean, I don't think that's something I want to be going around doing.
In this climate, I'm carrying a weapon at all times, some kind of weapon.
Absolutely. If this thing does anything, it's going to make the pro 2A argument go way up, left, right, or whoever. You see what's going on in the news. You don't want your lady or your kids in the car seat going out there without some sort of protection based on their skin color.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like it's literally it's like a blanket of darkness enveloped the earth one day back in January. And it just spread across the globe within about a month. And now we're living in some kind of weird, bizarro nightmare world. And everyone needs to wake the fuck up. Otherwise, this is going to be reality. One thing that
we don't need that. We don't need that.
A point that I'd like to make, something that I just don't understand since the beginning of this. What are people protesting for their rights for? They're not rights if you have to protest for them. Ladies and gentlemen, there's one way there's even the riots, everything, the direction that we're going, there's one surefire way to halt this and reverse this right now. And that's that we all collectively all together go back to our lives. Go open your businesses. Go back to your fucking lives. Just go back and it's over. But no, we're going to engage in this fucking negotiation with the government. This is basically what's going on with protesting and waiting and saying, why is everyone staying home? Just stop staying home. Just go back to your fucking lives and it's over. It's literally like magic, like Harry fucking Potter, magic wands, incantations, spells. Yeah, it's over. All have just been like a bad dream. But that's the farthest thing that's going to happen. That's the farthest reality. Why? Why? Somebody explain to me why don't people just wake up and go back to their lives?
Well, the good thing
wake up and put on a little bit of makeup. Come on, wake up.
A
little bit of makeup. Go to
work. Get some coffee.
One of the good things that might come out of this whole protesting thing is now there's no reason to stay at home. I mean, we've all talked about this. It's like now
Silver
the
lining.
businesses have no reason to listen to any government orders that say you can't open your business or you
Okay,
can't
so
have
maybe this will
20 or
bring
50
that around
people.
then.
So it's like, I mean, all right, so I can't go to church on Sunday, but you can have 5,000 people in the street.
You can burn a church down, but you're not allowed to go to church.
But I'm not allowed to go to one.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean,
that's right, Vic.
You nailed it. Vic. I mean, that's
why
it.
Why take a little communion cracker when you can throw a Molotov cocktail through the window?
Wow, that's brilliant. That's what ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to WERV. This is the program. That's Victor Valaire. We have Derek Twigs McConnell, Mr. Anonymous out in West Hollywood. I'm Robbie Coates.
And
let's keep this
Sam
going,
Baker
guys.
is out in the fruit.
Yeah.
We are missing Sam Baker right now, but he's out in his fruit farm harvesting fruit, literally, as we speak. He's running his business. He owns a fruit farming business. He's a farmer. He's an engineer. He's a sound man. Take us away.
Well, he's not here.
Well,
no, you take us away, Rob.
Oh, well, how do you like this background? I like this one. All right.
Oh, love it. Love it.
Look, Twigs, you were talking.
Yep. Sorry. No, I just wanted to see if you guys had heard. They had I didn't see anything today, but I guess did they have a memorial for him or something today?
Oh yeah,
it's the biggest.
I'll put it this way, guys. The memorial's been live on Fox News, CNN for almost 2 hours now. Jesse Jackson's there. Al Sharpton's there. It's on national TV stations as if Moses has died. I mean, his body his body's being guarded. And look, I think we have all condemned this killing. All of us have done it. Black, white, it was wrong.
Yeah.
But this is a hijacked movement. This is at this point ridiculous.
Yep. And the only reason I brought that up, I didn't want to glorify his death. But his lawyer, and I don't know if you guys heard this, but in the news, all you hear is black people are getting murdered left and right. The cops are mowing down people left and right. Now it's gone so far that his lawyer came out and said that what we're witnessing now is genocide.
You mean the police officers against the black population?
Yes. Now they're going so far as to call it genocide.
That's part of the propaganda machine, ladies and gentlemen. Words matter. They matter. Genocide has a meaning. Okay, I can't believe, and it's astonishing to me. We all know that there are people out there that are going to just suck it up like a sponge, and they're going to go repeat it.
And they know that. They take it and run with it.
Gentlemen, 13 years in the making. The key elements have come together for this show, this program. Rob, you're the son. You're the son of this program. You provide the. I'm
just upset, Victor.
Yeah, well,
I'm just pissed off.
That's why you have us here, Rob. I mean, we can talk about this.
Yeah, it's important to have you guys here so that we can vent. And hopefully this is a pressure valve for America. Maybe it wakes people up. Maybe this will be like one of those steam whistles at a big factory.
I'll tell you,
make people the fuck up.
I was saying some stuff online as well, but I didn't use any vulgar language, nothing. I was getting word from the local authorities that they might be coming into the neighborhoods to light houses on fire, kick the door down, shoot your husband, shoot you, maybe even rape women. And, this is all.
Victor, we lost Victor. Victor, are you there?
I'm here. Okay. I'm here. I had a Hubert calling in, but he disrupted my broadcast.
You're gonna get boxed.
I forgot to go on airplane mode, but
not airplane mode. Do not disturb. Get that little moon symbol lit up. Do not.
But anyways.
Disturb. I think you just went on to do not airplane. Okay. Take three, Victor. Take two. Is it three?
Well, I'm just trying to go do not disturb because Hubert's going to keep calling.
Oh. Yeah. We're live on the air.
You know, sometimes if you can't find Mr. Malinowski, he'll find you.
He will.
Without a doubt.
It's one of the things you can count on.
But what I'm saying, guys, I don't want to hold this show up or Mr. Anonymous because he has places to be. You know, basically, though, I was putting a warning out to the neighborhoods. Hey, now this is it. If this is real and they're going to come into our – who knows whose house it's going to be. It could be Twigs. It could be your house. It could be some house in Maine. It could be a house in California, North California. Who knows where these idiots are?
I'm betting they won't get up the driveway.
They're going to throw a Molotov cocktail through your master bedroom window into your life and kick your doors in. Now, I've been in a house where people have been trying to kick the doors in or forced entry. I've had 2 instances. My dog, Mr. Hendricks, rest in peace. He saved us both times.
Victor, it's not airplane mode. It's do not disturb. Okay.
It is not pretty. Okay.
It's the moon, not the airplane.
You want a gun.
Yeah, everybody needs to be armed. If you don't have a gun, go buy a gun.
Well, or you're going to do hand-to-hand combat.
Well, only if you have a karambit. Only if you have this CRKT karambit right here. Boom! Look at that. Like this is the.
Well, that's okay. You're going to be in combat, but yeah, that'll slice anybody's skin open. Probably something that can't be sewed up with that. But what I'm saying is, I put out a legitimate warning to people that are at work. They don't know what's going on. I says, hey, this is what they're saying. They can hit the neighborhoods, call your neighbors, get any protection together, organize. And people are like, you're racist.
Unbelievable.
You're overreacting. Calm down. I says, calm down. I got the Lakeland Police Department saying they could be in the neighborhoods tonight causing trouble. So I put out a fair warning to my fellow citizens, and I got roasted for it. And now,
as you should. And look, it's not over. Look, this George Floyd thing.
I hit my disturb, but do not disturb. It will not work. I do apologize to everybody on the program.
Hey, just turn the phone off. Just turn it off. You're on your iPad, right?
Yeah. You know what? I am going to do what my host says.
That's going to be a tough one.
That's why you're the host.
Yeah, that'll be a tough thing to get through. Well,
thing is, this isn't over. This George Floyd deal is going to be out of the news cycle by Monday. So what's next? Are they going to let us go out? Are we going to be free? Can we open our business till election?
Let me take this.
Okay.
You want the answer for what's next?
Bring it.
We're about to watch everybody get arrested. We're going to watch people. The news is on everything that happened the past 2 weeks. That's what's next. The next 2 weeks is cleaning up all this mess. And I'll tell you what, it's a disgrace. And Trump's even said it. There's going to be people going to jail for a long time over this. You set a building on fire and 100 people live upstairs. What's your intention?
I think
so. I think we have the biggest thing the next 2 weeks is the aftermath of all this behind me.
That's Reverend Jesse Jackson, I think, behind
immediately up. Well, plus we have the court cases and the hearings, and we're going to have, whenever he's in court, we're going to have 1,000 people outside the courthouse for the when they announce the verdict. All this, we're going to be dealing with this for a while, and 1 million people are going to die in that meantime, and no one's going to care about any of them but this guy. Take it away, Twigs.
No, I mean, I think you might be right. There's something coming. I don't know. I don't have the answer to that, but it is definitely not over. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
well, we know about it now for sure.
Yeah, I just don't know what that is. I don't know what it's going to be.
Well, so we had this notion of the power grid. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a possibility, but there would have to be something behind it, in my opinion. Like, yes, okay, like they could easily take out the power grid if they wanted to.
There's a lot of different spots they would have to. Well, they would have to take a lot of points out at once.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I don't mean like the whole country, but I mean like, there could be areas. So my point is, could they do it? Yes, they definitely could. And I have my concerns about what's going on out in California. And
I was looking through those.
You can speak to that.
Yeah. What about that explosion you saw?
Could I spend a minute to report on this?
Yes,
Robbie,
please,
I know
please.
you have you have an engineering background, and I'd like to thank my co-host of the program for being available. So last night at outside Los Angeles, there's what sounds to be like fireworks last night for hours. Now, they weren't loud, but you could hear them from about a mile out. Just pop, pop, pop. I didn't think much of it. I'm in my house, and the power goes dim, right back on. I said, that's really strange. It's clear, 70 degrees. I go outside, look out. The largest blue flash I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it blinded me and pushed me back about 3 feet. Now, we're not saying any conspiracy related items here, but I don't believe in coincidences. I've heard nothing but flashbangs from fireworks all night. There's Antifa and anarchists on our street, and I see the biggest damn blue flash that I've ever seen in my life, and not one news station has reported on it. The city lost power last night.
Well, that sounds like a transformer explosion to me, especially because you experienced the brownout or the quick flick on and off. That would be the whole grid compensating for the
blackout.
Yeah,
blackout.
Well, you can't.
You're safe on the pro. You could say blackout. Look, we're not going to go.
He said the power went off and came back on. Is what he said.
It's a fucking blackout. We're not whiting or yellow out. I mean, it's a fucking blackout. Let's just call it what it is. I mean, we're not going to do this.
Now,
this is why the program has assembled. This is why we've assembled. We're not going to not be able to say blackout.
Here's my question. With everything that's going on, do you think we just had a transformer blow across the whole city out of pure coincidence?
That was a big flash. No. I saw the video. That was huge.
Is there a video?
No sound.
Show me the video.
No sound.
Can someone can we cue up the video on? Can someone back there in the booth get
I'm afraid to turn my phone on. I'm afraid to turn my phone on.
All right, I'm in the booth.
I'm going to cue up the video for you, Robbie. I'm going to send it to you now.
Roger.
And I'm telling you, this thing was seen for 40 miles. I mean, it was seen.
Yeah, one transformer doesn't take everything out.
Right, but they are as bright as the sun for a minute, for just a few moments.
I've seen a few of them blow, and I've even seen them blow. I've seen them glow green. I've seen them glow blue.
Yep,
and they're bright. I mean, and they're bright for sure.
Looks like something otherworldly.
Yeah, now, it was Robbie, definitely a transformer.
I sent you the video. So, but do we think this was a coincidence?
That's the question. Like, what caused it?
Okay, I've got the video coming up here on the WERV monitors.
I mean, I looked at it, and
that's a transformer. That's a transformer.
It's definitely a Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're debating that. I think it's it's just bizarre and strange.
Well, so it's not hard to make all you have to do is all you have to do is shoot one. You put a bullet in a transformer, it does that instantaneously. Transformers are very
there you go.
Thing. Yeah.
There you go.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
If a car runs into a telephone pole with a transformer on it, often they blow. All you have to do is rattle them a little bit. What it is a giant, monstrous coil, copper coil in there, basically. Two copper coils wound around each other in like a one of those Swiss roll cake kind of fashions, except many turns, much more than a Swiss roll cake. And so it's two plates like that, wrapped up like that. They're separated by oil, a very flammable oil. And I know that thing seems like it doesn't make sense, but oil is a very poor conductor of electricity. So as long as you keep the paper plates separated, as long as you keep the metal plates separated, it is a marvelous insulator. And you keep them separated by laminating them, by laminating a layer of paper, just like ordinary, like brown paper bag material between them. And that guarantees a space for the oil to fill, and it keeps the copper plates separate. But if you put a bullet through it, it's just some thin malleable copper and paper and oil. And as soon as that insulation is lost, as soon as those copper plates come in contact, boom. All you don't even have to put a bullet through. That's why when you hit a telephone pole with a car, that can happen.
That's great information, but I do think that was a soft test. I mean, we predicted, Alex Jones, our partner at InfoWars. By the way, I take 2 Brain Force pills every morning, folks, and that gets me through the day without any caffeine coffee.
Love
I'll
it.
have to try that. Yeah, I can't live without my coffee.
However, we've been predicting, what are they going to do next? These are anarchists, well-organized, non-amateur, violent criminals. Will they go after the grids?
Well, it obviously seems like an easy thing to do. I mean, if you can just take out Transformers, they're like eggshells. They're very fragile, very fragile.
You know what? It seems like the only thing they weren't allowed to take out was the White House, and for a minute there, it seemed like they were almost going to be allowed to just take over the White House and spray paint it and destroy it. I'm surprised that didn't happen.
They were right to the gate.
They were there. They tried, but Trump.
Trump ain't gonna let it happen. But I want to circle back to this power outage thing, because you might be onto something. And it would be relatively easy to take out a neighborhood or a segment like that if it was coordinated well enough. But beyond that, like, we gotta think about, what would that reason be? Like, okay, they cut the power, boom. Of course, that's going to cause some problems, but they could get it back up quick. So, what would their reasoning be?
I don't think they can get it back up that quick. I mean, especially if they did a mass coordinated thing.
If it's a mass, if it's mass, then it could be a while for sure. So then, what are they going to do with that? Because obviously, they're not going to do it, and then that's it.
They want to infiltrate the neighborhood. So just like they did, they took out some cities the next night. So you're chasing them around.
It'd be like cutting the phone lines.
It's like going onto a playground trying to chase your kid down. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck. He's going to go into a little tunnel slide. You're not going to get him. You're going to say, "You little son of a," that's what these are. They're little kids. That's what they are. They've got their little Molotov. I don't know. They're real small. They got these little professional Molotovs. I don't know what the hell they are. They're not handmade. They're pre-made professional.
Well,
you got to make them.
Firebombs.
Now that we're talking about the Molotov cocktails, the 2 folks in New York City who were arrested for throwing the Molotov cocktails in the NYPD cars turned out to be lawyers from a very large New York City law firm. They're from Palestine, and they've been bailed out already. So are you trying to tell me this isn't organized?
Oh, it
sounds organized. Incredibly organized, yeah.
Every single one of these protests was organized. None of this was organic. Not a single one of them was organic. They were all planned, even the peaceful
100%.
And they were all planned. Now, did they all have intentions of being violent? Perhaps not. But every single one of them, but most likely. Now, but there's no way around it. They were all coordinated. Every single one of them was pre-planned.
Yeah, these kids are not. I mean, because that's what they are. They're kids. They don't coordinate like this by themselves. They don't even want to leave their house. There's incentive somewhere, either they're gaining something mentally. Maybe they have maybe it's like an acceptance thing. They're kids, for fuck's sake, after all, or they're getting paid. There's some incentive. They believe it's a virtue thing. They've been indoctrinated.
They're victims. Hold on.
They're getting marching orders. Victims, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, sure they are. Of course they are.
They're all victims of the big overlying liberalism picture.
But they're also destroying everything.
Victim to this. And that's what it does.
Yes, it is. It's very sad in that respect.
Since the beginning of time. Guys, we had to come up with a constitution to protect us from this stuff. I mean, the Constitution was put in place solely to protect us from liberals. I mean, liberalism. Liberals, you got to separate them, because some of these people are just victims, straight out victims of all of this. They're good people. They're victims. Liberalism. Yeah. Mr. Anonymous. Oh, go ahead, Twigs.
No, I just wanted to touch on the Constitution real quick, because you bring up a good point, and this is something that I wanted to talk about anyways. And obviously the role of the Constitution, part of it was designed, to have the government help protect the people, right? And that's what the police are supposed to do. Now, Robbie, I don't know, you said you're 24 hours behind. This isn't new, but it's starting to gain more traction with the Black Lives Matter movement. They want now they're going so far as to say they want to defund the police.
I heard that just this morning.
They want to put 700,000 officers out of work.
And I wonder why, what does that do for them? It just seems to me like this is just handing over America to, this is total anarchy. This is literally just giving into 100% bowing. Hey, they're bowing. They're bowing. They're kneeling. Whatever the fuck they're doing.
Hey, I want no part of that.
It's the rich liberal elites getting the poor Black African Americans to defund this police so they can kill each other.
Yep. Because there's no stats. There's no. Well, I shouldn't say there's no stats, but I have not seen any valid reports that show when the police force is drawn back or it's decreased or minimized in any minority neighborhood. I've never seen where the violence hasn't increased. I mean,
that makes perfect sense. It only makes sense.
Yeah. So
why come people can't just make sense in their brains anymore?
I don't know. Why are people claiming that unarmed Black men are getting mowed down left and right, and this is a complete genocide when there were 10 people that were unarmed last year that got murdered at the hands of cops, and most of those.
Yeah, that's not the first time it's happened.
No, but 10. It's the
most recent comp.
Sure.
And it's terrible. Recent sold comp.
Right. But my point is 10 people over the course of a year does not constitute genocide by
no, it doesn't.
any means.
It doesn't warrant any of this. This is not how this is. Look, I agree that there is a problem with police throughout the country. I look. That's a complicated thing that we can go. Yeah, we can go in great detail, great depth about the police and what.
Yeah, I mean that could be a
public.
Separate show. Yeah, that could be a separate show because there's issues there. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, I'm just speaking strictly to the narrative that they're pushing so hard. And you've got professional athletes out there saying it. You've got news anchors saying
these are the true feelings. Yes,
like that's what they're saying. And you're right. It's their feelings. They've been successful at creating this fear in the Black community. And who's promoting that fear? Because it's, and some of it could be blamed on the cops. But if you look at the numbers, just strictly the numbers, and as far as the cops killing Black people, it's not substantiated. I mean, it's just not.
Well, of course it's not
happening.
Of course it's not
happening. I mean, it blows my mind that people can't take a look.
Yeah, and these are incidences too. There's other stuff involved. It's not just cops said, all right, let's go down to Williamson and Avery Drive and smoke a couple dudes. I mean, there's incidences. Right. Like, they don't want to shoot, but this guy get their faces smashed in, or
and this guy who just got his neck
coming at you. They're coming at you.
Right. So what was this crime that the Floyd whatever was? What's his name? See, what's his name? You're gonna tell me that the world is on fire?
George Floyd.
Okay, George Floyd.
George Floyd, right?
Floyd. Okay.
Yes.
I know his last name is Floyd. Is that one L or two?
Can I touch on? So if we're talking about Floyd at the funeral today, I'm gonna, David Horowitz, a freedom fighter, David Horowitz from the David Horowitz Freedom Center here in Los Angeles. This is what Al Sharpton is saying at the George Floyd funeral. David Horowitz says, "The worst week for America in my lifetime ends with George Floyd's funeral being turned into a platform for one of the worst racists in America, Al Sharpton, who uses it to attack whites, saying for 401 years, white America has had its knee on our necks. 401 years actually takes us back to 1599 when no whites were in North America.
Yeah.
The American knee, of course, had nothing to do with the revolutionary proclamation that all men are created equal. That caused 350,000 mainly white men to lay down their lives for Black freedom in the Civil War. Americans have more power, more opportunity, more wealth, and more privilege than Blacks anywhere in the world."
There's a lot of programs. There's a lot of programs. Minority programs.
This is Reverend Al.
Why not just get rid of the word minorities and all the minority programs involved, just, why not just get rid of all that? I mean, if nobody's a minority, let's just have no minorities, and let's just do no programs for any fucking
Reverend Al Sharpton at George Floyd's memorial, which will be larger than any presidential memorial you've really ever seen. The only thing he didn't get was a walk towards Pennsylvania Avenue with horse and carriage. He probably got more of a military funeral than our brothers who are dying in Afghanistan get.
Yeah, it's seeming that way. I can't believe it. The pageantry. So this guy was a porn star, right?
Well, Twigs, that Candace Owen. Twigs, why don't you break down this Candace Owen video?
This guy, what was he? Okay, the cop didn't just, like Vic said, the cop didn't just find this guy and wrestle him to the ground. He was running because he had committed a crime, right?
I don't know about. Well, I'm saying he has a record. His last crime
wasn't he shoplifting or trying to? What was he doing?
No, it's not really a big deal. They just him and like 4 other dudes.
Okay, but they were engaged.
They just ransacked this lady's house and held her at gunpoint and robbed her house.
Actually,
they were just expressing themselves.
So,
but the cops caught up to it because Floyd's car was the getaway car. They found him. Blah 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 blah. It's not a guy's.
Yeah.
So he was expressing himself. That lady worked for all that shit for a long time, and but he deserved it more.
Well, that's what they.
Him and his buddies.
You're muted. Twigs, you're muted. Twigs is trying to speak, but he's
Twigs. Dude, you're. There you go.
Okay. Well, it's probably better because I would have just been talking over you guys. But no, I was just going to chime in with what Vic was saying. Because obviously you got to pump yourself full of fentanyl if you want to express yourself. There's no other way to do it.
I thought that brought you down, fentanyl. Thought that was a downer.
I have no idea. I haven't tried it yet.
He had a speedball. The toxicology reports have methamphetamine and fentanyl, which is a speedball, which is a automatic
that's
heart
up and
attack
down
waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care if he was on, liquid Drano. You still don't,
Yeah.
So
it was wrong.
But we're just breaking down.
Yeah.
Right. But
this like you said, they're praising the guy. But he is actually a pretty nasty fucking criminal.
It's starting to sound that way.
Fucking nasty.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he's a great guy and cool. But like, I'm not even thinking about breaking into a freaking house. I don't even want to step into someone's lawn. No. I walk my dog at midnight. I don't want anyone to even see me. I don't want to deal with anybody. I don't want to cross paths with other dogs and. Like, I don't want any problems. I just want to get out
with Thurgood.
I just want to get home without being. You know what? When you leave your house, you just get the shit kicked out of you, and you get home and you say, "What the fuck happened?" I'm safe where I'm at in my house, but as soon as I leave, I bump my head. I fucked up my muffler system on my car today. It's like so much shit happens out of my walls here. That's why I stay here, because I don't get fucked up here. When I leave, shit hits the fan. Everyone tries to rob me blind, and
this is just Inglewood.
Right here on the program. I'm safe on the program.
Can't imagine what it's like to live in a metropolis.
Oh, hey man, Orlando was an awesome place. You can go into the wrong areas, but Orlando's awesome. But there was a lot of crime. I think it was like 3rd in the nation. But you don't
Vic,
see
I've had guns pulled on me on Paramore in Orlando on 2 separate occasions. It's still a nasty, dangerous place, as in most of these areas. So you got a point, man.
If I saw your privileged ass, I'd do it too.
Sure.
You make him get on. You make him get on.
I'm just kidding, Will. I wouldn't do anything like that.
To that, but like you said, if I got ran into in that type of neighborhood and they pulled a gun on me and they said, "Get on your knees and apologize for being white," I'd say, "Listen, you're a brother, but I'll pull the trigger because I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
No.
That'd be it.
I mean, pull the trigger.
Twigs, do we have a Robbie? Do we have a commercial timeout coming?
I don't even know how long we've been doing this.
Today?
We're basically way over time here. I think
we're way over time.
We're way over time.
Okay, let's start putting it into a. We have a lot more shows to do. Let's start putting it into a final thoughts here. What have you learned the past 2 weeks?
Who? Mr. Anonymous.
Oh, son of a gun.
That's okay.
I'll
have to figure out when that is. Mr. Anonymous, look, we can
black me out.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Do you
final
have any
thoughts?
Yeah,
look,
final thoughts, please.
Look, we are in what hopefully seems like the end of a 7-day civil war in this country. I think we need to just realize that it's not over. AG Barr had a lot to say today. Trump's doing a lot behind the scenes. Corona didn't work. This is going to be out of the cycle soon, so we got to be prepared for what's next.
Yeah, is anyone talking about Corona? I don't mean to interrupt.
That's my final
Get your
thought.
households together. Get your household together.
Yep.
Don't be comfortable.
Guys, anyone in the news, anything in the news last few days about coronavirus? Anything?
Nada.
Crickets.
Okay, so it's over. It's over.
Just all they're talking about is everybody on the streets together. That's about it. But did you see the nurses on the side
yes,
of the
it's
road?
all sickening. It's bizarro world. They're just trying to sow confusion in people's heart.
It's
You know what needs to happen. Just last year, I would be hesitant to say something like this. There would be, I'd have great pause. Okay, but this is the truth. People, humanity as a global thing here, we need to realize all together very quickly that we are spiritual creatures. We are souls in these bodies, and it's a starting point for everything in a civil society. Right now, we have government is where rights come from. They own you. They tell you, look, I heard from someone else out in California that lives in Marina Del Rey that she can go to the beach and she can get her hair cut now, but she still can't get her nails done. She can get her hair cut, but she can't get her. This is government. Listen, what are we? What are we, folks? We aren't fish in an aquarium. And this all, and people killing each other. What's going on in America with Americans just burning our country, burning our home, killing each other, just beating each other to death in the streets, just innocent random people, lives, conscious.
I saw a video of bricks going through windows in the upper floors of those. I don't know if it was New York or wherever, but you might as well say neighborhoods, because in New York, the neighborhood is the apartment building.
Yeah.
That's the neighborhood. Neighbor, you live next to somebody. Neighborhood. So these dudes were throwing bricks. These kids, they almost got their clocks cleaned by these bricks that were planted. And they're in their apartments. So you could say neighborhoods, not just the city, was under attack. People were going, whoa, what is... They were scared to death. They had thousands of people ready to just...
And that's the goal.
There was infiltration. That's round one of infiltration right there.
Yeah, and I think my point was
it was very minor, but it was.
It's a very big...
It starts with something.
The point with the realization that needs to happen that you are a soul is... Oh, God damn it, I lost it again. You're... Okay, neighborhoods. I lost it. Twigs, final thoughts. Maybe I'll get it back.
Yeah, I mean, just to build on what you were saying with, the stuff burning down your neighborhoods, burning down these shops. They're burning down the American spirit too. And if there's anything that we can help with when it comes to this program, hopefully we can empower people to be more vocal, and not even in a violent way, but people are scared to speak out. There's people speaking out, and there's people that feel the exact same way that we do, and they are speaking out. but there's more people that feel this way. I know it. And hopefully the more people like us that get out there and just at least say something, no matter how big or small the platform, hopefully we can put that fire out that's burning the American spirit. That's how I feel.
Absolutely.
Very good. I agree 100%. And I did just regain my point, my thought that I wanted to make. We are soul creatures. So, God damn it. This is the brain of Robbie Coates, ladies and gentlemen. I think I lost it again. The war that's being waged. Look, it's important to realize the ethereal nature of yourself. What is consciousness? What is seeing? What are you? What is it that sees from behind your eyes? And that realization will help in the understanding that this war is being waged literally, in a very real sense, inside the hearts and minds of people, in their souls. It is where confusion takes over. It's where you're worried. It's where you're scared. And this is the goal, ladies and gentlemen. I know you see that. The reason why the world is confusing right now is because you're missing the point. It seems like there's no point. What's the point to destroying the world? What is this? What is their ultimate goal? It's happening in you. They want you to feel nervous. They want you scared. They don't want you to be human. They don't want you touching each other. Coronavirus, stay 6 feet apart. They don't want you to speak. They want to make everything that is naturally human seem wrong to you. They want to make you feel unnatural. Like by just by existing, that you're committing some kind of crime. They need you to be in a constant state of fear in order to control. This is what evil does, ladies and gentlemen. The point is that evil is real, and this is a war between good and evil. And
yes,
until we realize what we really are, we're not going to stop killing each other. This has to happen. When you hurt someone else, you're hurting yourself. That's my final thought.
Amen.
Mr. Anonymous. Mr. Anonymous.
Did you want to? I cut you off in the beginning there. So, fuck.
No, I think Robbie. I think we should end it right there. That I couldn't have said it better myself.
All right. So
I don't have any kind of final thought.
Final thoughts, everyone. Derek, final thought.
Only if we could do 2 more final thoughts.
Okay.
Organize.
I think we can squeeze
Organize is where we're going to leave this off. Organize and prepare and get ready. Most likely nothing's happening, but be ready.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we've seen the warning shots.
Be prepared. The food that you bought for COVID, keep it and get more, because it's only going to get worse. So I would not eat. I would not eat that food that you stocked up for on this Corona thing, because there's a good chance that you're going to need it.
And it'll probably be bad. So keep the toilet paper. Listen, folks.
Guys, get yourself a 20-pound bag of rice, folks.
I'd like to thank everyone for listening to the program. My name is Robbie Coates. Thank Victor Valere, Derek Twigs McConnell, and Mr. Anonymous out in West Hollywood, California, for your time and contribution. And this has been the inaugural episode. Ladies and gentlemen, get with it.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And
I love it.
Pleasure.
I love it. Much love, guys. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bam. That's it.
Absolutely.
That's where I'm cutting.